Welcome in to the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. Appreciate everyone checking us out as we get moving here tonight. I want to welcome in my podcast co-host. I named the show. We turned down $8 million to be here. He is everyone's favorite Utz chip man, Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Rob? Good evening, everybody. How are we doing tonight? You're in the chat tonight. Looks like we have a whole one person watching so far. If you would, give me a thumbs up.
We're jumping. We're up to 10. It's moving up. Give it a minute here.
We're doing something here. I don't know. Yeah. My shit's all fucked up. I've had a hell of a past 2 days. That's all I can say.
Well, I don't know what I mean. Do you want to talk about your past 2 days?
No, I really don't. I really don't. So.
Didn't know if you wanted to get into it or not. But
I'm just glad I'm just glad to be above ground right now.
All right. Well, here's what we got. We didn't do a show on Father's Day. My dog's just staring at me like he wants to eat me. I don't know what his problem is. Anyway, we didn't do a show on Father's Day. It's our first show in a week. I thought we'd talk about Lenor Sellers turning down $8 million. And I'm not mocking the young man. Hey, you know what? I'm not sure what other quarterbacks are making, but Lenor Sellers is worth whatever the hell he could draw. I'm not trying to dip in the man's pocketbook, but are you buying what his dad's throwing down here, Jackpot? His dad, quote, said he was offered all kind of crazy numbers. I told him he could say, I'm going to stay or I'm going to go. By my 2 cents, it was to get into college on a scholarship, play ball, get our degree, and go on about our business. This NIL deal came later. We didn't come to make money. We came here to get our education and play ball. And with schools calling, we're not going to jump ship because they're offering more than what we're getting. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're 19. You don't need $8 million. You're in a great spot. There were several talks, but it never really crossed his mind to leave. It's a challenge with colleges offering younger guys that kind of money. Who's going to say no to $8 million for 2 years? They're going to be swayed if you don't have the right people in your corner.
Yeah.
So with that, are you buying what his dad said, $8 million for 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any reason to. I mean, I don't think we got any reason to doubt him. I mean, right. They seem to be on the up and up on everything that they've done here. So, I mean, I haven't seen him do anything. The only place he's wavered on his commitments, I guess, would be like when he decommitted from wherever the fuck he was committed. Where was he committed?
Syracuse.
Well, okay, he decommitted there to come to Carolina, but other than that, I mean, he's been loyal to wherever he's been. So,
well,
I mean, he wanted that offer from South Carolina anyway. So,
well, and look, from what we've been told, Sellers grew up. That's where he wanted to go with South Carolina. I know for a fact one of the interviews that came out, they asked him about the whole Syracuse thing. He said, well, South Carolina would offer me first. I would have went there. I remember that in an interview. So on that front, the kid wants to be a Gamecock. If we put all the rivalry bullshit aside, the kid wants to play for South Carolina. Fucking go play for South Carolina. Whatever. But I'm just like, wow, putting that number out there. And I think the thing that bothered me about that is that his parents didn't seem like the set that they were going to, put stuff out in the world of social media and everything else. And the only thing that I worry about is maybe they're setting their son up for, if the shoe drops this season. And I'm not saying it's going to, so don't think I'm being the Gamecock hater here, but
out from behind me.
Oh shit! They're putting him into a fix where he has to put up big numbers.
Get on!
He has to put up big numbers, or he is gonna catch a lot of shit from people saying, well, the $8 million man could have got $8 million. And there'll be jerk-offs doing that. But other than that, kid's played well. He's been respectful. He carries the Gamecock logo with pride. I mean, it's kind of hard not to like him. You know?
Yeah, I mean he's gonna ball out. So I mean I don't know. Don't think anybody's got anything to really worry about. But boy, they will. Somebody will look like a fool for. But here a fool for offering all that if he does bust out, or I guess they'll look like they dodged a bullet. Hey. But now, how do you feel if you're Nico and you hear this shit come out? $8 million over 2 years for him, and what he couldn't even get. What, 2?
Well,
from
once
Tennessee?
Again, if you listen to this show, and not some idiot that's gonna, oh my God, let's just jerk off the Tennessee quarterback. We said from the beginning that Sellers was better than Nico was, and nobody wanted to fucking hear it. And look what's happening now. You've got his dad saying, hey, we got people wanting to give him $4 million a year. Now your ass is playing out in L.A. where people are rioting. And a pay cut.
A pay cut. You took a pay cut to go somewhere where the cost of living is probably, 40% higher than it is in Knoxville, Tennessee. If that, and that's probably on the conservative side.
Well, there are more taxes and everything else in California. We don't have to get into the politics of it because that doesn't help anything. But
no, I'm not talking politics. I just simply said
I was talking about from my side.
The fucking cost of living is higher.
I was talking about the politics of it from my side because I think they're all fucking crazy out there. That's what I was trying to get after. But
that too.
Seth says
fucking place is a shithole.
It is a shithole.
I'm not scared to say it. Fuck that. I'd never go out.
But I'm just saying, hey, Seth with the super chat. What's up, guys? Go Gamecocks. Welcome in, sir.
What's up, Seth?
Billy with a great point here. Taxes in California. That's the big thing. Yeah, buddy. Taxes in California.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, the median home price there is like $750.
Yeah.
What the hell? What the hell's up with? I mean, how could you? Oh my goodness! I don't know how you can afford to live.
I don't know how you can afford to live.
But then I heard like the median salary. I think it was like San Jose County or something was like $150.
Yeah.
So.
Walk It Off Sports says, you like to see this from young men playing football, loves the game and the school, plays for the name on the front of the jersey, not for the money. Thank you for the super chat, sir.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Will says no state income tax in Tennessee. I mean, that's nice and all, but I mean, at the end of the day, Rob, when you're paying your taxes, I mean, your federal income tax is what you get the most deducted
right.
from your gross earnings. I mean, your state is not that much.
So according to something I just pulled up here, about 25% of the men in the workforce in California make more than $100,000 a year. So obviously, they make more money out there.
What percent?
25% of men and 12% of women make
more
at least $100,000 a year.
Well, then that doesn't really, the number I heard then all that doesn't jive together. If that's
right.
Oh, no, I was just talking about a particular county, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some counties up in northern part of California, I think, that are really rural and it's a huge state. I mean, so there's some rural mountainous areas and stuff there where the people probably don't make that much money.
So the average salary, I pulled it up in California, and this is, it is a big state, as you said, is right at $43,000 a year. The average salary in South Carolina is $34,000 a year. So give you some perspective there.
Just
what's up, buddy?
Flip-flop that number.
Yep, pretty much. The average household in South Carolina makes about $66,000 a year compared to $96,000 a year for California. So yeah, I mean they got $30,000 more, but they pay a shit ton more in taxes. But someone forgot to tell Nico that.
Pay more at the gas pump, pay more at the grocery store. So yeah.
Yeah, fuck them.
Pay more at McDonald's.
Pay more at McDonald's. Anyway. All right, so we have that to talk about tonight. If you want to get into that, where else can we go? Coastal Carolina's doing their thing in the College World Series.
So it's Saturday. They start their championship round.
Yeah, let me check it out and make sure I give you the proper info. I think that's the way it is. Hold on, please.
Yeah, because you got LSU playing Arkansas right now.
Yep. I think let me check on the and that's an elimination game, I believe.
Yeah, it's in the top of the 7th, and the Bayou Bengals are up 2-1.
Yeah, look at the bracket for that.
It's an elimination game for somebody because it says tomorrow is elimination game if necessary. So who's about to get eliminated?
Well, these two teams played each other, and Arkansas lost. So, actually, yeah, LSU is 2-0. So, if LSU wins this game, they've won their side of the bracket. If
they lose it, they'll play again tomorrow.
They'll play again tomorrow.
But if they win it, it's over.
Yeah. Jarrett, welcome to the program, sir.
What's going on?
What you got?
What's your name? What is it?
Jarrett.
Dan.
Yeah, that's my first name, Daniel, and that's why Luke calls me Dan because I changed it.
All right, Dan.
Okay, Dan.
But you can call me Jared if you want.
Dan the man.
Yeah. I think that was I think that was really cool that Diego Pavier basically said no and was loyal to his university, his team. Most people wouldn't. You got people like Nico who just ditches the team for nothing.
Or how about Carson Beck leaving Georgia to go to fucking Miami?
Well, you knew his
not very many people are like running their mouth about that.
He was going to come back to Georgia, but they had already spent his NIL money to get some wide receivers. So
yeah, they basically what Jackpot said. They had to use their money, spend it wisely, sparingly to get some wide receivers out of the portal. And then, they didn't expect Carson Beck to come back to Georgia. They expected him to go to the draft. And he decided to say, hey, I'm exiting out of the draft and going into Miami. So nobody expected that to happen. And his girlfriend was there that he dumped. Or she dumped him, whatever. All
right, well, what do you got for the show this evening? We have I believe a Mizzou fan is joining the show in a moment. So this is going to be. Okay. We haven't had very many Mizzou fans on in the past. So I'm not trying to run you off, Jared.
We're in rare air this evening.
That's exactly right. But anyway, I want to make sure you get your thought out there, Jared. Before
what's your expected win total for Clemson?
We will announce that as we get closer to the season, sir.
Okay.
I'm still doing my research.
I mean,
we did the over and under, and I had him over 10 wins. So
I had him at 10, about somewhere between 9 and 10 wins.
Sure.
Because they got to play South Carolina, Louisville, and who's the other team that's supposed to be really tough? The third loss I'm thinking of.
Georgia Tech, maybe.
No, not Georgia Tech. It's somebody else.
Yeah.
It's South Carolina, Louisville, and there's somebody else I'm trying to think of on the schedule. Can you pull it up?
They play Syracuse. They play Duke. They play LSU.
LSU. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking LSU. They could drop the game to LSU. They could. It can go either way. One coach can't win. LSU's had a problem with opening games ever since Ergeron, and I think it was 2019. And then you have Clemson, and I know sometimes beating South Carolina is awesome, but they still struggle beating most SEC teams besides South Carolina.
Cool. All right, Jarrett. Appreciate you calling, buddy. Thank you.
And I tell you another team to look out for that you're not thinking about right now. It's a road trip. It could end up being dangerous. Maybe not. We don't know. North Carolina, bro.
Oh shit! I love you, Jackpot.
Bill Steele's high on them.
Yeah. Chuck, welcome to the program. You're like one of our first Mizzou callers. What's going on, Chuck?
Oh, really? I'm popping the cherry, huh?
I guess so. I mean,
you're violating me.
Hey, first off, hey, good shit, guys. I like your show.
Thanks.
Both knowledgeable guys. One thing you're not knowledgeable about is Missouri football. I mean, the lack of respect is crazy. Jackpot's coming around a little bit, but
hold on, sir. You obviously have not listened to this program enough. Because I've said point blank, Mizzou's a better football program than South Carolina.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Gamecock fans lose their fucking shit. God damn it, we're supposed to beat those motherfuckers. And they fucking have been up until last season.
Yeah.
Eli Drinkowitz, every time he rolled his dick out onto the field against South Carolina,
whether
it was against Mizzou or fucking at App State, he whipped that fucking ass. And these motherfuckers are still thinking, oh, we own Mizzou. You motherfuckers are fucking out of your damn core.
We're certified
things return to the form that they should return to.
Jesus Christ.
I've
also put out on the program, too, that Mizzou walked into the conference and they have 2 appearances in the SEC championship game. South Carolina has 1. And they got an 11-year start, something like that.
They backed their damn way in both years. South Carolina
they backed their way in. Doesn't matter. They backed their way in, bro.
They backdoored their way in.
They still count as fucking SEC East champions. You can go where they got that fucking set of rocks up there at Mizzou, and I'm sure you can find a banner that says SEC champion.
Let Chuck talk. Let Chuck talk. It's enough of your spewing bullshit.
I never knew, that he was like this.
Chuck, you agree with what I'm saying, though, right?
Oh, 100%. Hey,
there you go, Chuck.
Hey, the man's not telling a lie. Number facts.
Have not lied yet.
I have not. Hey,
nope.
We're 7-5 against them since joining the conference. But just like Tennessee acts like there's some god almighty. We're 6-6 against them. Yeah. We're 6-6 against Florida. The only team that's really has Kentucky. Kentucky's got us. They're 7-5, but they've had the pass interference game and the rough and the punter game. Arkansas, who's supposed to be our rival, we're 9-2 against them. Put some respect on our fucking name.
Chuck, which one of the fan bases, which one of the ones is the most annoying, either online or otherwise?
Tennessee, by far. Not even close. They're worse than Nebraska and Kansas combined, and that's bad for us.
Oh, you guys don't like Kansas.
Hey, you guys get to play Kansas this year in football. Are you excited for that game?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be hype, man. It's not really a rivalry anymore because we own them in football lately, but
that's gonna be good.
Just like this is how people are not overlooking Missouri, especially on defense. Just like Nebraska's top returning linebacker transferred in over winter. He couldn't even crack the top 6 in our linebacker depth chart. That's where we're at. People are sleeping on us, and when Missouri's slept on, that's when they play their best football. Can't wait. It's going to be a good season.
Yeah, but y'all are replacing a lot. I mean, Luther Burden's going to be playing on Sunday. Okay, so Luther Burden sucks? Is that what you're telling me?
No, not at all. But look at his numbers weren't all that great.
Well, that's because the defense is shifted to him. That guy was running into double and triple teams every fucking play.
Sometimes he didn't even touch the ball until the second quarter.
That's true.
But we're going to be a running team this year. We got Ahmad Hardy. I don't know y'all ever heard of him. But
I have. Transfer from Monroe.
What about the quarterback situation?
Yeah, he let off freshmen.
Sam Horn. Still sleeping on Sam Horn too, and it's not the race is not over.
Come on, man. Sam Horn hasn't fucking played. How can you say we're sleeping on Horn?
Played all spring. Coming off Tommy John. Hey, he was the number 7 quarterback in the country.
He's
Come on now.
our
Coming out of high
Chuck, are
school.
you a listener of the Mazad cast?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's where I found you at.
Yeah, they were in love with fucking Sam Horn for the longest time. They wanted him to replace Brady
Oh,
Cook.
a lot of it was 50-50 around here, fan base on Sam Horn and Brady Cook. But
last year, so you're right about that when you said that about sleeping on Missouri and not respect. So last year when you came to South Carolina, you came there off of a win. And you guys, I'm looking at Phil Steele magazine right now, so I know it was right. We were a 12-point home favorite and barely eked out a win. And I knew
it took a
was
miracle to beat us.
that was free money. I knew that was too many points.
Well, but hey, remember though, Jackpot, the talk of that week, we give Drinkowitz credit for this. We didn't think Brady Cook was going to play. If you remember, that was the talk. They were going to start somebody else because I don't know. He was injured. I can't remember what the thing was, but
we were ready. We were ready for old
Drew Pine.
Drew Pine.
Pine.
Hey, Drew Pine beat Oklahoma.
So did everybody else except for Alabama.
Big bad Oklahoma.
Anyway, but no, I just worry about, Cook ended up settling himself in being a pretty good SEC quarterback.
About 8 inches.
Well, you also, if you look at Mizzou, they put some offensive linemen in the pros.
Yeah,
so you lost some of those guys too.
Yeah. Connor Wallace is coming back.
Yeah.
Really?
4-star JUCO guy gonna be our left tackle. Logan Reichert, 6'6", 370, gonna be our probably right guard.
Come here.
Hey, we're fine. We're fine, and when your coach has got a knee knocker, that don't hurt any matters. Everyone laughs about him being the biggest nerd, whatever, but there's a couple coaches in SEC. He's their daddy.
I think he's a dork.
One of them.
I think he's a dork, but the guy wins games.
And he can
Can't
recruit.
really argue that shit. He recruits and wins games.
Rocket Sanders he won the game, but he didn't do that all game, so we weren't even paying attention to him. We were focused on Sellers. They snuck him in. He broke a couple tackles, got in, but that play on 4th down Sellers was a miracle. I mean, it's kind of Brad Smith like, and you guys won. You beat us, but hey, we were right there. We ran the ball down your throat, and I think we'll do it again. That was supposed to be the SC's best teams in 10, 11 years, and it took a miracle to beat old little Mizzou. That's all I say, man.
Stop calling yourself Little Mizzou. You're not.
I know, we're big, ain't we? Yeah. We're big, the mighty Mo.
Well, I don't know what happened to the Gamecocks in the second half in that game because they were in control, and then
but we stuck to the run.
They just kind of abandoned their game plan, and then Missouri they they corrected some things at halftime, especially that stretch play.
That stretch is our bread and butter.
That son of a bitch is still down there running.
And Hardy's that's his thing. That's his thing is that he's a stretch runner. So
and you need to watch.
They'll probably go for about 200 against us.
Well, when Mizzou knew that, and a lot of coaches, LSU kind of ran some of that stretch too. When you have dominant defensive ends, which you have in Stewart, and which you had in, you spread them way the fuck out. And then, hey, we're going to run this little guy right fucking past him while this guy's trying to kill the quarterback. It's smart coaching. So
you always run at the athlete.
Yeah.
Instead of letting him.
That's us. That's on us not making adjustments.
You're exactly right about that.
And not being disciplined.
Well, but that also, when you step back and look at it, it was good play calling there, and they should have kept running it. Run that shit till y'all make adjustments, But that game.
No, but Sellers is good. I'll give you. He reminds me a lot of Brad Smith, and he can play. He's a baller. But I don't know. I'm not really buying that $8 million though.
I don't know why his dad would say that, but and why put it out there? It doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Who gives a shit?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'll become a regular. But I got one question. I heard Jackpot on there one time say you were the wrestling guru around there, right?
I think both of us are fans of the professional wrestling, but
I want to give a quick quiz and ask if he can answer this.
Sure.
Okay, back in the World Class Championship Wrestling in Dallas, can you name the 6 Von Erichs that wrestled there?
Kevin, Kerry, David. No, Fritz, Kevin, Kerry, David, Mike, Chris.
Okay, but I'm not cutting Fritz or Waldo, the brother, Fritz's older brother or whatever he was.
What about Lance Von Erich?
Good job, you got it.
Yeah, I remember Lance.
Yeah, he was their cousin.
You better come harder than that, brother.
I'm
just saying.
Think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Good shit. Hey,
all right,
thanks again, fellas. Good job. Hey, MIC, baby.
ZOU, sir. Y'all got to whip some ass this year.
All right.
Appreciate it, Chuck. Thanks for joining the show. Let's welcome in Seth. Seth, welcome to the program.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Y'all having
How are
a good
you?
night tonight?
Yeah, man.
Good evening, though.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I want to know from Rob's perspective why he thinks the Gamecocks would be so far off from the playoffs, but Clemson is a national championship contender. And I don't see much parity between the two teams.
I didn't say that Clemson would be a national championship contender. So I don't know where you got that from. I think that South Carolina, the majority of their defense is playing on Sunday from last year. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, just we developed and blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at what we know, not what we don't know. And when you have 5 guys that were drafted from your defensive side of the ball that you have to replace, that's a big deal. So that's why I think that South Carolina I think they're going to take a step back this year, simply based on that. I'm not sure who Sellers is going to throw the ball to. I'm not sure who your running back is going to be to replace the 3rd leading rusher in the SEC. So that's why when I look at them, there are holes there. And any rational human being would look at that and be like, oh, what he just said makes sense.
If Nicholas Harbor, don't know who we're going to throw the ball to. Did you not watch Mazio Bennett and Jared Brown play football last year?
I mean, they were all outgained by a tight end for yardage. So
that's because both of them got banged up and missed multiple games. The tight end didn't miss any games. It doesn't fucking matter. I mean, he made the damn catches. I mean, that's what matters anyway.
I'd also
Nicholas Harbor can be physical enough, if he can dip his hips and get some separation at the line of scrimmage, he's going to be fucking hard to deal with. That's if they say he's quit track. They said the development that he's made has been off the fucking charts. They told us that last year, and there was flashes. I mean, that catch against Bama, that was one of the best catches I saw all year long. I'm not just.
I hope for the safety of your remote controls and everything else that does happen.
Oh, what?
But I live in the land of realism, and if he hasn't shown it yet, he's going into his 3rd year with the program. When in the fuck is he going to show it?
I'm just telling you what I've been told, what I'm reading.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
I hope it comes that way for you. I really do. But if you're asking me to put my opinion behind it, I don't know who you're throwing the fucking ball to.
I mean, do we?
Yeah, Mazio Bennett and Jared Brown, they didn't play ball last year.
Do we not consider the fact though that that offense that South Carolina had under Dow Loggins was a very run-oriented tight end type offense?
Sure.
And when you see the targets that Lenore's had to the wide receivers, he was targeting 8-9 players a game.
Right. And who's your running back? You're hoping a kid from Utah State gets a waiver. I mean, we can go all day.
I think there's a couple running backs.
He was the number 2 rated. He's the number 2 running back in the portal, behind the guy that Mizzou got. I mean,
we don't even know if he's going to play, though. We don't even know if the number 2 guy in the portal is going to play. We don't even know. As of right now, if the game started today, he wouldn't play. He doesn't have a waiver from the
who's Clemson's
NCAA.
running back? We don't know. We don't know.
But what we do know about Clemson is they've got one of the most talented wide receiver rooms in the country. They also have a coordinator that has been very successful on the college level that wasn't sucking dick in the NFL.
He had 1 year of success last year. He had 1 year of successful last year.
Sure,
the year
but he's been successful in other places, Jackpot.
He was ass.
He's been successful in other places, Jackpot. So, I mean, I'm just saying when it comes down to
Mike Shula's been successful other places too.
Shula's a fucking bum. Y'all are, I'm just putting it out there now. That guy's a fucking bum. I'm calling it in June. You'll be wanting his ass fired before Halloween.
Let's put a bookmark on this episode.
We'll put I've got the bookcase of accountability right here.
Accountability that we're going to want him fired.
A fucking bum.
Yeah,
and
okay.
You'll definitely be wanting his ass gone.
Based on what? Because he got fired from his head coach job at Alabama. A lot of people
Alabama fans about him. Look, the Alabama fans are like, "Fuck, that's who you got."
I know that Garrett Riley can't score more than 24 points versus a ranked opponent.
Cool.
Garrett Riley can't score more than 14 points against South Carolina.
Cool.
I just would love to know how Clemson goes from losing 3 double-digit games and Louisville walking them out their own stadium and South Carolina showing up and beating them.
So in your mind, South Carolina's going 12-0, right?
The same guys
Is that what you're saying?
The same guys returned with a new defensive coordinator, and somehow they're all just going to be magical and they're going to go on this big playoff run. I don't buy that. I don't buy it one bit.
I don't expect you to buy that because you think that you're going to be fucking a playoff team after losing all those guys. So I don't expect you to buy any of that. You think South Carolina's not making the playoffs this year.
I know that
South Carolina, the bookcase of accountability.
I know that South Carolina has a lot better chance of replacing players than Clemson does.
Okay. That's because we don't go to the transfer portal. We don't do that.
We're aware of that.
We don't do that. So that's just that. That's like making that statement is fucking silly. And the main reason why you have to use the transfer portal is you have any fucking tradition.
Dabo caught shit for it, so he went out and got two transfers.
He went out and got two guys. Two
whole ass men.
And I disagree with that whole sentiment. But you know what? If he wants to do that, that's on him.
He went and got his cookie. On him. He went and got his cookie for Clemson fans, so they'd quit.
Here's what I know. When you look at the 247 talent composite, Clemson is listed much higher than South Carolina. Go and look at that.
Wonderful.
Maybe Dabo Sweeney's right about these guys that we got over here. If we take all the helmet stickers off, look at this roster and South Carolina's roster, it's not even close, man.
I don't know about not even close.
Go look at the numbers, man.
They've been recruiting
South Carolina.
They've been recruiting
Clemson has more 5-star and 4-star players than South Carolina.
On the defensive side of the ball, I mean, Taffy soft. I mean, was it Wes Goodwin or was it just? I don't know.
We're gonna find out this year. I'm not completely sold on the defensive coordinator either. I'm not going to sit here and be like a South Carolina fan. We got a Utah State running back. We're going to be great. I'm not going to sit here and say we got the Penn State defensive coordinator, and he's going to be great. There were Penn State fans.
Second best option in the portal for running back.
There were Penn State fans that were looking at their defensive coordinator, and they're like, well, fuck, we're glad this guy left. There were definitely some of that out there.
Penn State's defense wasn't bad last year at all. I mean, but they had some talent. I mean, they're not just going to replace Abdul Farder. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, they went out and got this guy from Ohio State. He's supposedly the Rolls Royce of defensive coordinators, which is crazy that, before he was at Ohio State, Rob, you know where he was at? Jim Knowles?
Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I can't remember, Jackpot.
Yeah, I said Rob, but thank you for answering. Oklahoma State, when have they ever been known for having a top-notch defense? But
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody in the Big 12 plays defense, but yeah, you're right about that. But they consider him the Rolls Royce of it. Yeah, that's
you're
crazy.
Right. Remember that little soundbite on the Mazodcast, the Paul Feinbaum? You're right about that.
Right about that. Yeah. Anyway, but no, there are things about Clemson that I don't completely buy. I don't buy a lot of stuff up there, but I'm not going to sit here and be a dumbass and think, oh, we lost all these fucking players. We're just going to be just as good. It's fucking
I've already told you that the defense is going to take a step back, and I expect.
Oh, well, but see, you're one of the smarter people that are here, Jackpot.
I've already told
there are dummies that are
but I
going
expect the offense to score more points.
Well, that's a fair logical assessment. Hold on,
but at the same time, if I had to trade off, I'd still rather have that same defense because defense does what? Guess what they do? They cause turnovers. They wreak havoc. Yeah, offense just going to score points.
Wow. I've just heard people say, "Well, you're not giving Beamer and the defensive coaching staff enough credit for the way that they can develop guys like Kennard and blah 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 blah." I don't have to give you shit.
That's true.
Okay? I don't have to give you shit. They did. This is what you've got and what I see coming back as of right now.
But
you have potential to be good, but I don't know if they're going to be good or not.
Rob,
they're going to be good or not.
They did develop though. I could tell you,
sure.
I'd put a money bet on you right now that South Carolina is going to have a top secondary and they're going to have a good defensive line. I'd bet you good money on that. And if you think that if a defense with a good defensive line and a top secondary won't be at least decent,
wait a minute. Hold on. Can you calm down for a second, sir? Take a deep breath. I don't know if you took your meds before you came on the program here. Will Muschamp had good defensive linemen. Will Muschamp also had a good secondary too. But you know what you didn't have was fucking SEC linebackers. Which is why you got gashed to hell and back.
I remember Will Muschamp getting 40 and 50 dropped on him on almost every damn game.
Yeah, because you had no fucking linebackers. You don't have proven linebackers as of right now.
Let me know outside of that one Georgia game where a team has just obliterated the Gamecocks out the stadium and it wasn't even worth watching. Let me know.
Okay.
Wow.
Peckerhead says, Rob the Clemson casual Sanders. I know.
He's that's accurate.
Rob Sanders, I have to give you your flowers tonight, man.
I don't need any flowers from you. Just keep slinging them damn shrimp at Popeyes.
Listen here. Stand up for your team. Clemson's going to the national championship. Tear down South Carolina.
Clemson ain't going nowhere.
Octavian, please, sir.
Tear down South Carolina Gamecocks. Tear down South Carolina Gamecocks. They're going to the Deuce Mayo Bowl. They're going 6-6. Same people's getting fired, and they're losing to Coastal Carolina.
Octavian,
losing
y'all are going to have at least.
They're losing to Coastal Carolina. Same people. They're gonna lose. They're not gonna win 6 games. They're going 4-8. They're gonna lose to Coastal Carolina. They're gonna lose to LSU. They're gonna lose to Texas A&M. They're gonna lose to Alabama. They're gonna lose to Virginia Tech the first game of the season. They're gonna lose to Vanderbilt. That's 6 losses.
Hold on, Octavian. Real question.
Dude, y'all need to worry about beating Vanderbilt before we do.
Seth, hold on a second, sir. Do you have South Carolina winning any games this year, Octavian?
They're only winning 4.
Okay, which 4 are they winning, sir?
The game after the Virginia Tech game is the first victory. Okay. Who else they have on their schedule?
I wish we had Florida because we beat them by 30.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
How can you say, wait a minute, Octavian, and this is a real question. How can you say they're only going to win 4 games when you don't even know the fucking schedule, sir?
I know they're losing to the brand teams. They're losing to Texas A&M. They're losing to LSU. They're losing to Alabama. They're losing to Coastal Carolina. They're losing to shit. They might lose to damn Auburn for all God's sakes.
Well, if we played Auburn, that might be possible.
They're not playing Auburn.
Y'all is this. Listen here, South Carolina.
Well, hold on. Let me help Octavian a little
Let's
bit.
start. Let's start.
Wait,
rattling
hold
off-
on. Look, wait a minute. Hold on, sir. Just give me a second, Seth. I'm not trying to cut you off, but Octavian, we're going to do wins and losses with Octavian right now. That way we have it for the bookcase of accountability. I'm putting it up there. South Carolina's not going to the playoffs. Jackpot, we've put that up there. But wins and losses right now, Octavian. Are you ready?
I'm ready for South Carolina. Let's go.
All right. South Carolina opens the season. Neutral site game against Virginia Tech. Win or loss?
Absolutely. Loss. Big loss.
Loss. 0-1. All right. They go home opener next weekend. Next weekend was South Carolina State.
They'll win that.
All right. So they're 1-1. Then they welcome in Vanderbilt.
They'll lose that one.
1-2 at Mizzou.
They'll win that one.
They're gonna beat Mizzou at Mizzou. Okay, that's 2-2.
We're winning at Mizzou, but we're losing at home to Vanderbilt at night. Okay.
Let him finish, Jackpot. Home game with Kentucky.
Okay, I'm good.
Home game with Kentucky. They'll win that one.
All right, so they're 3-2 at LSU.
Loss.
3-3.
win.
Home with Oklahoma.
They'll win that one.
All right, that's 4. So you got them at 4. Let's see here. 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. You got them at 4-3. Alabama at home.
Loss.
That's 4-4 at Ole Miss.
Loss.
4-5 at A&M.
Loss.
Wrong.
4-6. Coastal Carolina.
Loss.
Clemson.
Loss. Shane
you got
Beamer's
him
getting fired.
You got them at 4-8, sir.
So
With
4-8.
losing to Vanderbilt, a team that they have not lost to, regardless of if they had a fucking whoever fucking coach and they haven't lost to Vanderbilt. Losing to Vanderbilt at home. I venture to say, if South Carolina loses to Vanderbilt at home this year, they may fire Beamer on the spot. That doesn't happen. So you got them at 4-8.
I got them at 4-8. Shane Beamer's getting fired, and they hiring the dude from Toledo.
What's his name? Who's the dude from Toledo?
Jason Candle.
Let's be completely realistic
Fuck
here.
out of here.
Come light my candle, baby.
I think Shane Beamer could go 4-8 realistically and not be fired from South Carolina.
Shane Beamer wouldn't get fired if he lost to Vanderbilt. Steve Spurrier lost to Vandy when he was 6-0, and he didn't get fired.
Billy Napier is way more likely to be fired than Shane Beamer. Let's start talking about those 6 and 7.
They were about to fire him last year, and they realized they didn't have enough money to get Lane Kiffin, so they put out some kind of fake letter of confidence that athletic director put out.
Y'all, Missouri and Kentucky will be the ballin' dwellers of the SEC. South Carolina, Kentucky, and Missouri. Mississippi State will be better than y'all.
Y'all done took our spot. Y'all can take that bottom spot. That's where y'all been the last 3 years.
Y'all is the sorriest team. Y'all is the sorriest team in South Carolina right now. Wofford is better than y'all.
How did we beat them by 50 points last year?
Y'all have serious issues. Y'all have serious offensive issues. Y'all have Mike Sula as our offensive coordinator. The person that led Alabama to probation? Are you serious?
Harry says ask you to count to 10. No, I don't want to be here all night.
All right, hold on. In fairness, he's asked Jerome, very, very astute there, Jerome. Do you mind?
Pull it up. Let me run through it.
Hold on, we're gonna let Octavian run through the Florida schedule. I mean, we'll see. See how that works. Hold on.
I want to predict. I want to predict theirs.
6 or 7 games.
Wait a minute now. Hold on. Calm down over there. Jesus, come on, man. I'm pulling up their schedule right now. Bear with me here. All right, Octavian.
Read it to me. No, don't.
Jesus fucking Christ. You know what? Before we do this, Octavian, you should be ashamed of this fucking non-conference schedule. Y'all are fucking pussy bitches when it comes to your non-conference schedule.
Sir, respectfully, we had
There's
one
no
of the toughest
respectfulness to it. Your fucking whole goddamn staff doesn't want to schedule non-conference games that are worth a fuck. I'm sorry. This is fucking gross that we have to talk about this. You start off with Long Island University.
Who the
That's a
fuck
win.
is that?
We're winning.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, who the fuck is
All
that?
right, so 1-0. Jackpot, did you give him a win there? Because you wanted to pick two.
Yeah, I think they eked that one out.
Yeah, they gonna get a
up next, they get South Florida.
We win that one.
loss. They're gonna lose.
Really?
Yeah,
we're not gonna lose.
They better
We're
be
not gonna
careful,
lose.
but I'll give them a win.
Listen
that
here,
coach is one of the
Seth.
hot-
You
one
make
of the hotter-
stupid comments
hotter
like that.
names.
We're going to call you Westavian.
That's one of the hotter. That's one of the hotter names in as far as the group of five coaches. That Alex Golish.
Yeah, if Alex go, I got a hot take. If Billy Napier doesn't get fired, that's the coach I want right there. That's the coach I want.
Well, maybe y'all lose to him and then he'll get fired.
I'll stamp this right now. South Florida's got a better chance of beating Florida than Coastal does at South Carolina. 100%.
Oh, man,
Facts.
That's not saying
That's
much.
That's not saying much at all.
Yeah, but
By the way,
Coastal
for
beat
the
South Carolina.
record,
Come
wait
on.
a minute. Come on now. Goddamn, you Gamecock fans are mouthy as fuck. Last season, Long Island, Jackpot, you know Long Island's mascot? I love doing this to Jackpot.
The Sharks.
God damn it. Thought I got him. Last
I only
season,
knew
they
it
went,
because I saw their logo like on Florida's schedule, and it's literally an LI with a shark in it.
last season they play in the NEC and they went 4-8. They played, let's see here, one
Right.
Power 5 team in TCU and they lost 45-0. So yeah, way to go.
That was down bad.
Long
wasn't it?
Island, yeah, they're down forever. Anyway,
Billy
Long Island.
says Florida won't schedule Central Florida. They played them last year, Billy.
No, I thought they. Well, the last time you played them in a
Billy Cole.
bowl game, you lost the bowl game and the fight afterwards.
No, but they
Cole.
played UCF last year.
We beat UCF last year, Billy Cole. Where have you been? You been
I
watching
don't-
Tennessee
They
reruns?
beat them.
No,
It's
but
not a good
in
UCF
fairness-
team. In fact, Gus
Yeah.
Malzahn got fired from it.
A trash UCF team.
Anyway, let's finish this up here. At LSU, are you winning that game?
We're winning.
So you got them at 3-0.
No.
At Miami,
We're winning.
4-0. Home game with Texas.
We're winning that one. Prime time.
Jesus Christ. On the
2 and
road at
3.
A&M.
We're winning that one.
2-4.
On the road at Mississippi State. I'm sorry, home game with Mississippi State.
We're winning that one. We're undefeated.
Jesus. All right. Neutral site game with Georgia.
We're winning that one. That's the upset of the century.
3-5.
Jesus
3
fucking
and
Christ.
5.
I mean, do I have to finish this? At Kentucky.
We're gonna win.
At
4
Ole
and 5.
Miss.
We're gonna lose that game. We're gonna lose to Ole Miss.
All right.
4 and
Home game with Tennessee.
We're gonna beat the snots out of Tennessee.
6. Loss.
Remember, ladies and
No,
gentlemen, if you
I
listen
give
to
them
this
a win
program, I'm in the camp of until Tennessee goes there and wins, I'm not picking them ever. They got to show me they
The
can win down there.
Braves just went up 2 games to zip on the Mets in this series.
Fuck the Mets.
How about that?
Yeah, they're the Braves
I mean,
are
they-
what?
I mean,
They're
they
only
just-
6.
You know, they've been a flaming turd, losing series to terrible teams like Boston, Pittsburgh, fucking getting swept by Arizona, and then they come out and then they're going to at least take 2 out of 3 from the best team in
Hey, did
the
you
National
know?
League.
Real quick on that. Did you know that the Colorado Rockies have 18 wins on the season? 2 of them are against the Atlanta Braves. Ta-da!
Yeah, they won 1 at home and 1 away.
Yeah. And finally, Florida State.
Florida State, we beat them. We beat them in the game. We beat them after the game, and we beat them during the game.
5-7.
So you're at 11-1, Octavian.
And we're going to the SEC championship. We're playing Texas again, and we're going to beat Texas, and we're going to the Sugar Bowl, and we're going to make the playoffs.
Octavian, I think you should pick a number on how bad Texas is going to beat y'all this year since they since they beat the ever loving crap out of you last year.
Westavian says you're going 5-7. So there's that.
Oh my Lord!
All right,
yeah, 5-7.
Anyway,
we're going 11-1. We're losing to Ole Miss.
No.
We're going to the playoffs.
They got beat up real bad by Texas last year, but DJ Lagway wasn't playing that game.
We wasn't playing. We had third stringers playing.
I want to know what all this talk is about Florida's offensive line and them being decent or something. Whenever I go on the roster,
we got the best offensive line in the country.
No, bullshit.
You're not going to sit here.
What?
We have the best offensive line in the country. We have the best
I
defense.
went on their roster and I downloaded it and I looked at it. And you look at their starters, they got juniors and seniors across the board on starters. When you go beyond that and you look at that, there's true freshmen and sophomores everywhere. I look at that and I see that if one or two of those offensive line get hurt, y'all are going to be playing true freshmen at positions where you shouldn't be.
We have 5-star offense. We're not South Carolina, sir.
That sounds like
Wait a minute.
We're not South Carolina.
Octavian, slow down, buddy. Holy shit, dude.
South Carolina's got a 5-star that starts at left tackle. Protects Lenore's blind side.
According to Sports Illustrated, the third best offensive line in the conference belongs to the Florida Gators with center Jake Slaughter and left tackle Austin Barber leading
starters. They're starters.
I never heard of those.
I'd take the Florida offensive line over South Carolina's offensive line.
We have a better offensive line. We have a better defensive line in South Carolina. We have a better team than South Carolina, and we're going to have the coaching better than South Carolina this year.
I'll take Stewart over every offensive
South Carolina's any year that Billy's been there. So what?
Billy Napier can't tell his ass from his mouth. He don't know what he's doing down there.
I know this much.
That's utterly ridiculous.
He's James Beamer's daddy. He's James Beamer's daddy.
He single-handedly cost you a win at Tennessee.
And he beat South Carolina 2 years in a row.
We're not talking about South Carolina. You don't play South Carolina this year. Did he not lose you the game at Tennessee because he has no balls?
He did lose us a game. He cost us 5 times. He cost us 5 times in the red zone.
Octavian.
And he didn't go for 2 and to not have overtime on the road. He played for overtime on the road in front of 105,000 screaming hillbillies or whatever it was. And he knew they had the momentum, and he did it anyway instead of just grabbing his nuts and going for 2 and let's win this damn game.
All right, look, I have to ask a favor of Peckerhead, and this is in regards to Octavian stuff here. Because if you remember, Octavian came on at the beginning of the season last year. Florida's winning the national title, blah, blah, blah. 4 games in.
They almost did.
Well, 4 games in, he's talking about, hey, we should have Billy Napier be fired, blah, blah, blah. Now he broke out those diamond-crusted knee pads to go below Napier again. I need your help there, Peckerhead. When it comes to Octavian this year, I want you to just ping me when he says he hits the seesaw and goes from loving Napier to fuck him, we want to fire him, then back, because I think he's going to have the triple cross here.
Yeah.
Love him, hate him, love him, all in the same season.
You think he's going to end with love? I don't see. That's the thing. I think he does not end with love because by week 3, he's right back on the fucking hot seat he ended the year in, Octavian. You got some Billy as your coach.
Listen, like I told Lou yesterday, if he loses to Miami and if he loses to LSU, his ass is fired.
It's not if.
They're not going to fire him for losing those 2 games. The expectations ain't that damn high.
He is losing those 2 games. The real thing is
he's
if he
got to
loses
lose. He's
to
losing to
LIU. If he
I
loses,
mean, if he goes and loses to Mississippi State or something
South
crazy
Florida.
like that, yeah, then
We're going to beat Georgia for the first time in 5 years. We're going to beat them.
well, and
That's
Billy,
a given.
or Octavian. I gotta ask you this because you went on your nice little sucking off Clemson rant too. I wanted to address that. You do realize if Clemson goes undefeated and wins the Natty, then Florida can't go undefeated and win the Natty like you've told us for 4 years straight.
You got to give the differences to Clemson. Got an outstanding team. They're not going to beat them.
yeah, the
Y'all
same
not gonna beat
team
them
that
at all.
lost to South Carolina last year.
Yeah.
Y'all not gonna. Y'all beat them every once in a blue moon. Y'all beat them once every blue moon. Y'all stormed their field.
We beat them. We beat them last year playing a D+ game.
Yeah. I think even Rob will agree with that. I mean, Carolina
turned the ball over twice in the red zone. I mean,
Kentucky Blue Ball says someone just put 4 pieces in a 3-piece bone-in chicken meal with red beans and rice and a biscuit.
Oh shit! Giving away the damn food.
Just give it away.
Not to mention, this needs to be said too. I mean, you're so confident we're going to lose to Vanderbilt. There's an entire generation on planet Earth who has never even seen Vanderbilt beat us.
Yeah, exactly.
There's literally an entire generation of people, a new generation of people
Sir,
have never seen us lose to Vanderbilt.
Sir,
I can tell you right now, Diego Pavia is going to be embarrassed he ever said that shit when South Carolina's defense picks him off 2
if
times
he beat South
and
Carolina,
our defense rolls him around like a damn rag doll and their offensive line looks.
That's exactly what happened to him last year.
Yeah, he got fucking John Elway helicoptered at his own stadium, and he wants to come on a podcast and start talking. Why don't you talk when you got Dylan Stewart in your fucking buddy?
I'm sorry. I have to read Jacob's super chat. Billy Napier, because we read all the super chats here.
Yeah.
We don't just take your money and then not read your fucking comment. Jacob says Billy Napier looks like he would commit police brutality.
Y'all Gamecock face is something else, man. Y'all couldn't beat Wofford. Y'all couldn't beat Wofford on y'all worst day.
Dude, what are you talking about?
They beat them by 50 points last year.
Y'all couldn't beat Wofford.
Oh my gosh, that's Octavian. Worry about beating fucking Kentucky and Vanderbilt, dude.
We beat Kentucky. We beat Vanderbilt. We beat them on a regular basis. We beat South Carolina on a regular basis.
You lost to them just a year ago. You lost them in 2020
years in a row.
We beat them.
You beat them the last time you played, and the time before that,
we own South Carolina. We own Vanderbilt. We own Kentucky. We own Tennessee. We own Georgia down there.
Yeah, bullshit.
You know what?
We own Missouri. We beat them.
You know, it's one of our wins. You know, it's one of our wins I wish we could take back was that 2014 win on the road in the swamp against Florida when we got Will Muschamp fired because that ended up sending him to us indirectly.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Octavian, you know Florida is such a fucking undesirable place. Your best coach of all time, fake chest pains just to go win a natty somewhere else.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win. Listen. We're going to listen here. When it's all said and done, we're going to be holding up the SEC championship trophy while you Gamecocks, Volunteers, Bulldogs, and Rebels.
Texas going to let y'all look at it.
Yeah, right. Is that going to be before or after another
double digit Lagway? Is Georgia going to let you look at it since they own you?
And guess what? Clemson's going to hold up the Palmetto Bowl trophy once again. And they're gonna win the state, and they're gonna own y'all for the next 30 years.
Let me ask you something. Did the Gamecocks get 50 nearly dropped on them a couple times last year? Did they? Because I think
we didn't get 50 put on us.
I think Florida did.
Yeah, you did. Texas and Miami
running up and down the damn field on Florida.
We lost 41-17.
Texas and what were those Miami players telling those Florida recruits?
Yeah,
when they went off the field.
Come to the U. I remember that shit. Come to the U. Why the fuck you want to play with these guys?
Rob Sanders, will you tell these Gamecock fans They don't know nothing about winning. I got to talk to a winner here. You guys, I have to talk to a winner.
Whatever.
Octavian, hold up. Octavian, in the last 5 years, no, we'll bump it back. We'll say the last 8 years, you've had a quarterback go top 5 in the NFL draft, and you've probably missed a bowl game half of those years.
We didn't. We missed 3 bowl games in the past year. We missed 3 bowl games.
Yeah, about half. And you had a top 5 NFL quarterback. Did he even make a bowl game?
We had a top 5 head coach too.
Remember when Florida scored 3 points against the Beavers in the bowl game? Oh, and they got that 3 points with like 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
Well, they were down 31-0, and they kicked a field goal on the last play of the game.
Hey, this mentality right here, by the way, this mentality, Octavian, is why your fucking players throw cleats in prime time to screw yourself out of the SEC championship.
Sir, wait a minute.
Sir,
hold on, Octavian. Octavian, hold on a second. Florida is the only team that I've ever watched that lost a game to a team that did not complete a forward pass.
Oh my gosh.
And that would be when Georgia Southern went in there and whipped your ass.
Why do we have to bring up these painful memories?
Because you bring up painful memories for these Gamecock fans when all the time.
They're used to losing. They're used to losing.
Octavian, maybe you don't realize this, but Urban Meyer hasn't been your coach in over a decade, bud.
Octavian's been used to losing since Billy Napier rolled on campus.
Yeah,
South Carolina has historically been losing. They've been losing ever since I've been created. So
since Spurrier, however low we've been, at least I can point and look at you and say, God, I'm glad I'm not Florida.
Yeah, fact.
You realize how bad that
losing.
Y'all have been terrible. South Carolina since Spurrier has head and shoulders been a better program than Florida.
Are you serious? We've been to more SEC program. We've been to more SEC championship games. Are you serious?
I am serious, Octavian.
What SEC championship game have y'all made since 2010?
Outside of the COVID year and that one good year with Muschamp, y'all ain't done shit since 2008.
We made the SEC championship twice with McElwain. Are you serious? That's the end of the conversation. That didn't even come
weren't
close.
Those all Muschamp's players, though? Come on.
We own South Carolina.
Does it really count if you won with Muschamp's players?
Y'all should start a rivalry with Wofford. Y'all should start a rivalry with Wofford and beat them on a regular basis.
Dude, y'all should start a rivalry. Y'all should start a rivalry with Kentucky and beat them on a regular basis.
You're high.
Rob Sanders.
I remember this one. You remember this video? I don't know if y'all can see that. This was from 3 years ago. It was a masterful Uncle Lou video. Florida man hates the Florida Gators. This one posted up on his Instagram after the. You remember that? He posted up on his Instagram after the game, and it just had in quotes, "Fuck this team."
We have to.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
This team is going to be the team that gets us back, get the mojo back, and get us back and send us to the top teams.
Okay, Octavian, outside of DJ Lagway, give me a reason to believe in this Florida team that anybody outside of DJ Lagway has an incoherent way of playing football.
Wait a minute. Hold on. They have 2 offensive linemen that are supposedly going to be all SEC players. So, right. I mean, if we're gonna, I mean, that's legit.
But I see that. But I look at the roster. I don't see no depth behind their offensive line. They don't got depth. They got great starters. They don't got depth.
If you are under that logic, then South Carolina could go 4-8. You don't have any fucking depth as we see now.
What fucking depth do we not have whenever you got guys riding the bench that have been in South Carolina for over 2 years?
They don't have any depth.
Here we go.
We got Javon Bowe, who was playing the bench last year, and started as a true freshman.
Right.
We got Casey Henry.
What you
Let's
got?
play this part.
Go ahead, Jackpot.
Tree Babalade, too.
Players, what do they think about Florida? Well, luckily, one of them let us know on Instagram what he thinks about his own team. Take a look.
Fuck this team. Fuck this team.
Khalil Jackson, is that this joker's name? I guess he doesn't play that much and he's mad about it. I guess he posted this after the LSU game. Now, he had to issue one of these hostage notes. You know what I'm talking about? Whenever somebody screws up a college football player, you see it in the business world.
Oh, man. And the craziest thing is he's still on our team.
Oh God!
What?
He's one of our starting wide receivers.
He's on your team. Don't ever talk about the Gamecocks again. You got a guy on your roster posting on social media, fuck my own team. Don't ever talk about South Carolina ever again. That is the most. That's almost as bad as Ole Miss taking in old TJ OnlyFans.
Octavian, I can't talk to you, dude. You've said so much silly shit that like people are going to start to think that I'm stupid by osmosis. I can't talk to you, dude.
So Rob, you asked me a question about who.
God damn it, you're not listening to me. I said I can't talk to you anymore because people are going to think I'm stupid. It's like you hang out with like dead dogs. People are going to think you're a dead dog. You just came on and said you were going 11-1. And South Carolina's going 4-8. You have fucked this show up, sir. Try to be real, and we can't.
Listen here, DJ.
The show fell off its axis.
The one player that y'all should watch out for. His name is Dallas Woodson. He's number 6. He's a wide receiver. He's 6'5", and he could run like Julio Jones. And he's going to be the best player in the SEC. He's going to be the player.
He run like Julio Jones, built like Derrick Henry.
And yet I've still never heard of her.
Yeah. You're
going to hear. And I've never heard the name.
You're going to hear.
I got to drop one of you guys. I'm going to drop Seth off for a minute. I'm going to put Schultz on. So, Schultz, what's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Schultz, get his ass.
Octavian, you are the dumbest person. You are the dumbest person that I've ever heard call in. I'm sorry, man. You just really are.
This is where you talk.
I mean, you keep bringing up Wofford like we didn't beat them by 50 last year. That was an easy win.
With our backup quarterback.
And you keep going on about how Florida's going 11-1. You said last year y'all were going undefeated and winning the national championship. How did that work out for you?
Schultz, he said the same thing.
They were just a little bit short of that.
He said it for 4 years straight, Schultz. Florida's going undefeated and winning the Natty for 4 years straight, Schultz. This is the only year he's predicted a loss for Florida preseason. So maybe he's slowly coming to his senses.
So South Carolina is not making a bowl game, sir. We know that. I know that for sure. I'm pretty sure Rob knows it. South Carolina's not winning a damn thing.
Stop leaning on me with your bullshit, Octavian. I already told you.
Hey, their centerpiece, though, Rob. I want you to answer honestly.
He's trying to pull you onto his island.
Yeah. What I want you to do is pretend like we're on the fucking Titanic, but I want to be DiCaprio and just let me go. Let me
would you rather
have
have
bottom. I don't want to go anywhere else.
Sellers or Lagway as your QB1, Rob? Straight up.
I've already
weird. He might be a little bit.
Definitely Sellers.
And
that's the Florida bell count. That's who everybody's hanging all their hope on for Florida.
But Lagway has no numbers. The majority of his passing yards came against whatever shitpo team they played in the non-conference. So I have to be consistent. And what the consistent thing is that he hasn't shown me anything. So I can't sit here and put him ahead of fucking Sellers.
He's the most overrated quarterback in the history of planet Earth.
That's still Nico.
That's still Nico's.
Down here in the chat, Matt Shaw said Octavian is sinking fast.
Oh, I'm not sinking.
I looked at it.
We're looking in the water because
Will you shut up for just a second? Let me talk. Thank you. I looked at it from a bad angle, and I didn't have my glasses. I couldn't see, and it looked like it said Octavian has stinking feet. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, Octavian, there you go, buddy.
Hey, Octavian, you're not going 11-1 though. Let's just be for real.
It's not happening.
Be for real. Hey, hold up. Nobody's listening. I mean, you 8 wins tops. Let's just be honest, right?
Yeah, that's probably about right.
So
Octavian, you should take your next check.
8 wins is generous too. You should be happy with 8 wins.
Place a bet on South Carolina going 4-8 and just parlay that motherfucker up with 11-1 Florida if you believe it.
Yeah, you'd be the richest on that. I was about to say you'd be the richest dude in the chat.
I mean, fuck that $5 bet you make, that payoff will be stupid.
Shit, you'll probably get about at least a couple grand just off of $5 with that. But Octavian, I mean, all jokes aside, you don't believe this nonsense, surely, right?
I really believe this. So y'all
there's no way you can believe this, Octavian. There's no way you can seriously believe this.
Are y'all serious?
No, he don't. Nah, man, you don't.
You don't believe this.
This is your shtick, Octavian.
Y'all been perennial losers.
Octavian, we know you do this just to get attention. I mean, clearly it's worked because you've gotten all of our attention. You've gotten everybody's attention. You're very well known.
Hey, hold up. This season, I want you to answer too, Octavian. This will be a question posed for everyone. Do we think there's a single team in Power 5 football that would hire Billy Napier as their head coach this year?
South Carolina hired Muschamp, so please don't talk.
Hey, but we learned from that, and hopefully the rest of the nation did. Technically, this would be Muschamp. Napier's in his second tenure of Muschamp era.
Wait, did you just say Furman, Octavian?
Now he's on to Florida, doing his work there. He's basically the second tenure.
Furman's not even FBS.
What'd you say?
Furman's not even FBS, Octavian.
What do you say about Furman?
Hold on, I gotta read Seth's comment because we read our super chats here. Octavian, take my bet. South Carolina don't make a bowl game for $100. We don't want people making bets on the show. You can find Octavian, however, and you guys can square that up on your own.
That's good. Put his money where his mouth is.
I just didn't want one not paying the other, and then they're pissed off at us that people.
How about this, Octavian? Do you have access to Popeye's gift cards and or coupons? Because I'll put up $20 that South Carolina makes a bowl game, and you just put up.
It's under lock and key, but doesn't mean you can't.
You put up a gift card, put up some free Popeyes. I'll put up $20 cash. South Carolina
free
make a bowl game.
Free 10 pieces.
Hey, free! Yeah, if you can load me up in the app, give me a code, man. I'll bet $20 cash versus some free Popeyes.
Fuck you for doing this, Peckerhead.
That
Fuck
Carolina
you.
makes a bowl game.
God damn it.
Yeah, Octavian, you were saying that.
Fine. Right,
you were saying that you were saying that Furman would hire Napier, but Furman's not even FBS. We were talking about
Ryan in the comment says Napier turned the South Carolina job down. Yeah, that's not true.
He did turn the South Carolina job down.
No, it is not. No, it is not. What happened was he called that horrible play.
Y'all football program is ass.
No,
Beamer
he called that horrible
hire. He was the one. All the previous players had gotten behind him. Beamer was the number one option from the jump.
They were barely
talking.
Who was that coach, Rob, that lied and came and interviewed for the job? But
that was Roger Leary
at Louisville at the time.
Yeah, that was him.
It's
not my bad,
George
Rob.
O'Leary? Is that who you were talking about?
Yes.
Oh, no, the coach said he lied. It was Satterfield. I was thinking George O'Leary. No, Satterfield.
Yeah, he's at Cincinnati now.
He lied and said he interviewed at South Carolina, and that was bullshit.
Yeah. That was he pulled a reverse Stoops. No, he pulled a reverse Mark Stoops.
No,
he did interview at South Carolina because they tracked his plane or something, and then when he got caught, he said he didn't have any interest in that job. He just interviewed for it because it was close to where his parents live. And he promised
he was never offered the job, though. That's the whole thing. He was never offered the job.
And
he
the
acted
thing
like
is,
he was.
Yeah. And that's why I say if Beamer wasn't the number one option, I seriously doubt he would have gotten the job at all because he was a out of the radar candidate with no coaching experience. Unless he's your number one guy, I highly doubt a reputable SEC program. Arguably, they're in the SEC, so they're clearly one of the most wealthy teams in the country, whatever argument you want to make. They're not bringing in a first-year coach unless that's their number one guy, in my honest opinion. I don't know if anybody else agrees with that, but Sunbelt Billy, he might have interviewed. He was never the number one option, Octavian. I don't even think he was the number one option for y'all, to be honest with you.
No, going back to what y'all were saying. Going back to what y'all are saying about Napier, he didn't turn us down. What happened was he called that horrible play against App State that nearly cost them the game, and then we decided to kind of back out on him because we were about to hire Beamer anyway. Most people wanted Beamer.
That's not true, but okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No,
That's not true. That is not
yes,
true.
It is.
I've heard that too.
It's not true, but whatever.
I mean,
Whatever you Gamecock fans have to tell yourselves.
No,
y'all South Carolina fans is delusional as hell.
Octavian, you're the last person that can talk about being delusional.
Y'all South Carolina fans is delusional.
Octavian, you're literally on your claim
that
team.
Matt over in the comment section, he said, Carolina Jackpot, I'm sure you've seen Sports Talk Jabroni talk specifically about you 7 hours ago in today's video. Your thoughts? I already made a rebuttal video to that, but here's my thing. He put a clip up of me several months ago kind of dishing on him where he was pumping. He was trying to get under the Gamecock fans' skin was what he was doing. He had no knowledge of any of this, that Lenor Sellers was entertaining offers from Auburn and Ole Miss to go be their quarterback. He was trying to get under our skin at the time, so I made a rebuttal video. There's no transfer portal rumors associated with him, and it's all made-up BS that he's fabricated. Well, then this comes out that his dad said, well, these kids – so he replayed what I'd said, and then he had one of his little cartoon characters come out in front of it. Are you sure about that? Here's the thing. I never said that nobody offered the kid money. I'm sure that someone offered the kid money. Anybody that we've got on our team that's worth a damn, I'm sure somebody's come and offered him some kind of money to go somewhere. But there was not any transfer portal rumors. Those are two separate things, totally.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I did want to mention something. I wanted to bring this up because Rob, this was the basis of the casual.
He was trying to make Gamecock fans mad, which obviously, look at me. Obviously,
that's the reason this guy talks about sand on the field and signals being stolen from a game that's now 3 years ago. So that's all this thing was.
There's Billy. Hi, Billy.
Hey, Billy, what's up, buddy?
I was hoping you'd keep Octavian. I had one.
Octavian's Wi-Fi dropped at the fucking Popeyes, sir. I didn't boot him. He just left.
Well, maybe he's listening. I've got one real non-trolling question for him.
All right, good. We can get down to business.
What is Billy Napier's record in the SEC?
I don't know. What is it?
None of that matters. You know
Yes,
that.
it does. If you're going to talk how good your program is, if you're going to talk how good your program is.
Well, if you're going to talk about that and it's all about what your record is in the SEC, Shane Beamer's a fucking loser then, right?
Well, I didn't
he doesn't
say
have
that.
a winning conference record.
Billy Napier.
You just said it's all about winning and losing.
Billy
Shane
Napier's
Beamer's not a winner
record
in
is
conference.
worse than Shane Beamer's. He's 10-14.
Yeah, I don't like this talking point, Billy.
Yeah,
The thing is, the same thing applies for Beamer, but Beamer won how many Coach of the Year awards last year? At least 2. One was national, one was SEC,
and he's 2 games under 500.
How many games has Shane Beamer? How many games has Shane Beamer won at Clemson? Combined, how many games have other coaches won at Clemson in the past 10 years?
We can cherry pick this to death. We're just talking about.
No, I'm just using it for an example.
Okay,
that's my talking point. Okay. It's a big accomplishment.
As an SEC coach, 4 years. Billy Napier is 10-14.
It's not good. And did Billy Napier? Did he ever coach AR5 by chance?
I don't know. And he's 19. He's 19 and 19
1 year.
overall.
So he had a year. So the last year, the year where he went top 5 in the NFL draft.
Was he the 2023
My point
draft?
is this: if you're going to come on here and boast about your coach, then we need to know what his record is at that school.
AR5 was only the quarterback under Billy Napier because the last year Dan Mullen was there, Emory Jones.
Oops,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that a coach's record, that's factual. That's not trolling. That's not a talking point. It's a fact. You can't get away from it. I mean, fact is a fact.
Well, it's hard to even really confront Octavian with the facts because it's just he doesn't listen to a word you said.
You told him exactly. He just does this for attention. He does not no more believe what he's saying than anything. But
a man on the moon.
It's why aren't we talking about Shedeur Sanders getting a speeding ticket today, doing 101 and a 55? I think it was. That's
what?
Breaking news on ESPN.
Because when you were 23 years old, you were riding around on a fucking horse and buggy doing 30 miles an hour, and you didn't get a speeding ticket because no one
I didn't
cared.
Har. I wasn't breaking the law.
Yeah. Let Peckerhead back in.
I didn't know Peckerhead was off. He's sitting right there.
He had to refresh. He had to refresh.
Andrew.
Oh, well, goddamn. What the hell happened? I didn't kick you
I
off,
had to
Peckerhead.
refresh. I don't know why it kept me. I saw my box was in
All
there.
right. Your box was there. I did not kick him off. So make sure people say, because people bitch about
Hey, what happened to my box?
Yeah.
Bottom of the ninth. Arkansas is up by 2, 5-3.
Your mom's box.
Hey, well, can I say this real quick? I was going to say this before Billy joined. It's a little bit off topic on what we're talking about, more so what you talked about earlier, Rob. I mean, your comment about South Carolina fans bringing up Beamer's development in regards to the players that we lost on defense, okay? Every single one of them, barring Tonka Hemingway, was a 3-star that Beamer developed, right?
Cool. What's that going to do for you next year? They're not playing for you.
Jalen Kilgore is a projected top first-round pick.
Okay.
Dylan Stewart, they said last year if the draft was eligible for a freshman, he would have been the 4th overall pick according to CBS.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, there's talent on that defense, and Beamer has a track record, whether you want to believe it or not, of developing.
My co-host, I'll side with my co-host that the defense is going to take a step back this year. If you want to go against my co-host,
I can debate.
Okay, well, let's talk about everything the co-host said. The co-host said the offense is going to take a leap forward.
Well, that's because your offense was the shits last year at points. So yeah, taking a leap forward. That's like
the
being
shits.
Really?
Jackpot. You yourself on the program talked about the offense being the shits at points.
Was it really though? I mean, it's good enough to beat your team.
Well, only thing I
one
can
game out of one, and that's another thing too. I can't really argue with that point with you because you won, but it shows two things. One, Clemson is your Super Bowl. We've talked about that forever. Everything is about
people calling
Super Bowl. You literally bragged. Y'all literally bragged about beating us the same way in 2023.
Can I fucking finish without you guys goddamn having to suck goddamn Gamecock dick for a minute? Can I finish one fucking
they like the taste of it.
I'm sure you do. Okay? It's very simple. I can't argue with you that you won the game. But once again, Clemson is your Super Bowl. Everything is about beating Clemson.
A Super Bowl
nobody sits and talks about, hey, I want to go to the fucking SEC championship game as a Gamecock. It's always about, we've got to beat Clemson. And what about Shane Beamer when he beat Clemson? And he won those 2 games against Clemson, even though he's got a losing SEC record. Oh, no, but he won those games against Clemson.
By one whole game.
It's really hard for me as a fan of a team when the little brother bitch team, because that's what they've been the majority of my life, they come up and everything is about
y'all had to send that thought. You had to send that
everything is about beating us. Everything is about beating us.
Rob,
So
y'all
it's
literally
hard to
acted.
have
This is
Y'all
literally
literally
the
acted the same way.
podcast that divides the Palmetto
So
State.
here's
And
what
you're
I'm
sitting
going
here
to do.
having a hit.
Rob,
you're sitting
y'all
here
literally
having a
acted the
hissy
same
fit.
way in
Here's what I'm going to do.
2023.
If you'll let me finish my thoughts,
You're
sir.
sitting here having a hissy fit.
I am not going to talk with you about that anymore. I'm just going to tell you this, okay? Your offensive coordinator, I think, is a schmuck. Your coach is a baby back. God damn it, let me finish.
Rob, you can't have a 20-minute point and then get
I'm
mad when
almost
somebody
done.
interjects.
In fact, it's my show. I can say whatever the fuck I want. My show.
You haven't seen him coordinate one game.
I don't give a fuck. I think he's a fucking fucko.
No game. Sorry, he did.
It's my opinion. He's a fucko. I think your coach is a crybaby bitch, and we'll see you in November.
Who beat you?
Don't ask me any more about it. We're going down there by noon. We'll be back up there with our Palmetto Bowl trophy before fucking 6 o'clock. I don't have to say anything else.
Okay.
Rob, y'all literally acted.
Y'all
literally acted the same way in 2023. Y'all literally acted the same way after
in
beating us in 2023.
You've lost 8 out of the last 10 times you played South Carolina, and you're like walking around like, "Where's your daddy? Where's your daddy?"
No, y'all were bragging like y'all won a Super Bowl after beating us in
You are an
2023.
afterthought.
What is happening?
Let me say
you're not. Y'all literally.
Hold up. What is happening right now is not what you're saying. Right? Hold up. You had. Just give me.
All right, you guys can say whatever you want. I'm gonna go get me some more drink. I'm not going to listen to you because I've already given you my thing. You can do that. I'm really thirsty. I'm gonna get something to drink.
Yeah, get some
You
water.
can spew your nonsense, and I'm gonna go get me something to drink. Go ahead.
What's actually happening is nobody's coming on here and saying because South Carolina won 2 games, they're now Clemson's daddy. What's going on here is South Carolina won a game, and now Rob Sanders wants you to believe the only person who cares about the game are South Carolina fans.
Yeah,
he's trying to gaslight the whole audience.
It's
into
funny.
An argument we're not making.
It's funny on a show called The Podcast That Divides the Palmetto State. We're melting down and having a bitch fit about division between the goddamn Palmetto State.
Exactly. Rob, the only cope he has for this game is to say, well, Clemson fans don't really care about beating Carolina, which we all know is a crock of bullshit.
It's a rivalry.
The Tennessee Vanderbilt game. You're telling me Tennessee don't care about beating Vanderbilt, even though they have a history of beating Vanderbilt?
That's your in-state rivalry.
Exactly right. You're gonna care about the game. He lost the game, and now he is acting like the only people who cares are Carolina fans. The second thing, he wants to talk about Mike Shula. They've got the highest paid offensive coordinator in the country who hasn't done jack shit for him in a few years. And he wants to talk about ineptitude at the OC position. Our guy went out, got Cam Newton an MVP, and made a Super Bowl.
Take that back. They put some points up on terrible teams last year.
Yeah, I mean, the dude, y'all are paying this guy top dollar. You'd think you'd have the best offense in the country. I haven't seen that yet, but we're talking about ineptitude with a guy who won a quarterback with the same skill set we have, an NFL MVP, and got him to the Super Bowl.
Time out. Let me give you an update on this baseball game.
Billy Slaw said, sorry.
There's 2 outs, 5-3, and LSU hit a line drive to the left fielder to Arkansas to end the game, and he muffed it, and 2 runs scored. Now it's tied up, 5-5.
Oh, God. Are you serious?
Bottom of the 9th with a runner on second. LSU at bat.
And I just want to say this. He didn't acknowledge it. We all know why he didn't acknowledge it, because he said earlier South Carolina fans come on and talk about Beamer's development. And then he talks about the people we're losing, but he won't acknowledge how all but one of them were 3 stars that Beamer developed. And then he wants to call us crazy for assuming Beamer can do the same thing. It doesn't make sense.
And the thing is, it's hypocritical to come on here and say, congrats on your Super Bowl.
Have you guys sucked enough dick now? Can I come back into the show?
Can I finish, please? Can I please finish?
We're not done.
Can I please finish, Rob? Could you let me finish?
Make sure you hit those knee pads hard.
I mean, you come on here saying congrats on your Super Bowl, and it's like you completely forget the fact that Clemson fans literally acted the same way They bragged like they won the Super Bowl after beating us in 2023. I remember. I mean, they acted this exact
they
same
did.
way.
planted a
They
flag.
absolutely did.
He talks about storming the field. They stormed Williams-Brice, which isn't even a tradition. His team did. Planted a flag, which he bitched about us doing. I mean, they did every single thing South Carolina did when they won. They sold the same shirts. They sold the same Christmas ornaments when they beat us. I saw them in the Clemson bookstore myself.
LSU just wins. They're going to play Coastal Carolina. Here's the true question of South
Coastal
Carolina.
Good earlier. I saw a little bit of
who's got the best baseball team in South Carolina? Just
Coastal Carolina.
Coastal, without a doubt.
Was that hard to say, or was it?
Not really.
Okay, that's fair.
It's truthful.
That's
so.
Well, and the thing with Coastal is I don't understand why their baseball team's so good.
Neither do I.
Because they recruit good and they got a good coach and they develop players.
Yeah, it just seems like develop. Is there not much NIL in baseball?
They don't. They're not wheeling a guy out there on oxygen to coach the baseball team.
That has an insure contract.
But does NIL not affect baseball, like college baseball? Because it just seems like that's that Coastal Carolina is not a rich school and it's not a big school and it's certainly not a destination.
It's bigger than you think.
Hey, does Conway have a McDonald's?
They got a McDonald's.
Then they got bags. So
they got
you might not know this. Did you know Coastal Carolina used to be a satellite school for South Carolina?
Probably.
And the reason they branched off is because South Carolina wouldn't allow them to have a football team. And there's about to be a second satellite school branching off from South Carolina for the same reason in Aiken.
It's when you see Coastal Carolinas and these other small schools and stuff, they've got good coaches. I played for a good coach up at Tennessee Wesleyan. The year after I left, there was a player come up there, pitched. They went up to Tennessee, took a doubleheader, come back. Tennessee wouldn't play him, and everybody thought it was a fluke. Well, the pitcher was named Tom Browning. The next year, he was Rookie of the Year for the Cincinnati Reds. So you don't know. You don't know in baseball, just like basketball, but more so baseball. A lot of kids can throw a ball, and it don't take much to develop a good pitcher.
Yeah.
And you get good pitching and good hitting and player development, like we've been talking about. Baseball is the best example.
Well, during Coastal's Natty run, their two stars were alumni of my high school. If you remember Mikey Morrison and Connor Owings, or it might have been Chris Owings, one of the Owings brothers. But the backbone of that Coastal team were alumni.
Baseball is one of those sports where a lot of, just like when I was at Niceville, Florida, I was coaching basketball at the middle school next to the high school. And we had a teacher, her son didn't make the junior high team and he didn't make the high school team till he was senior. So the very next year he goes to Florida State and he's the closer. So you just don't know. Yeah, you can say develop, but a lot of times when these players get a chance to shine, sometimes they develop on their own, given a chance. So,
that's a good point.
Just like I remember a pitcher showing my age back in the 60s, the Atlanta Braves passed on, said he was too fat.
To relate exactly what you're saying, Billy, just to Carolina football. I know Kale's getting a little tired, so I'll get off after this.
Oh no, I've got one other thing I've got to pitch to Kale before we get out of here. So go ahead and finish up.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say kind of to relate with what you were saying, Billy. If you remember Marcus Lattimore,
yes,
he. So I don't know if you know this or not. The dude's a poet. He writes poems now.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he had one for Shane Beamer, essentially attributing his success to a single comment that he had, that he unlocked like a fire in him. He said, talking about the impact of a coach's words, and I can't remember the exact quote, but he said he'll never forget when Shane Beamer said so, and that lit a fire. And you'd have to go back. It's about a 2-minute poem. You can find it on his Instagram. But,
I saw it on TikTok.
It's really weird how small things like that, kind of like you said, where some players will just develop themselves, or it just takes a small push, just some words of encouragement to unlock an all-star.
Years ago, and it's gone now. College football is not the game we know that we've known.
No.
Because of the transfer portal. You used to find coaches that you would want your son to go play for, to be developed not only as a player, but as a student. That's gone out the window. They don't go to class. Let's be honest. This has turned into semi-pro ball.
Yeah.
You know, who one of the best. You know who one of the best coaches were in the SEC for years to go play for. If you wanted your son to go play for a team and come out and be and he had almost 800 winning percent record in the SEC, was Mark Richt.
Yeah.
He was a good, solid man. You don't do that anymore because these guys, it's a turnstile now. They come and go.
Yeah, well, if that was the case, Brian Kelly wouldn't have a single team. But
can I go?
Yeah.
By Gamecock request, this poem is called Shane Beamer. I love words. Big words, small words, Spanish words, French words. I love words. Not because I'm nice with the pen, but because I've benefited from their restorative properties. In Proverbs 18:21, it says that life and death exist in the power of the tongue. Those who love it will eat its fruit. Words can be juicy like a cosmic crisp apple on a warm summer day. Words can be rotten like a maggot-infested bean pie. Words are alive. Words have a charge to them. A heartbeat is pulsating in between your commas and periods, and they mean so much when you play a sport. I've seen words turn a quarterback into a vegetable. I've seen words turn a sure-handed receiver into a handless bandit. I've seen words spit right in front of my face from a coach's mouth that broke a 300-pound man into bite-sized pieces of depression. Words matter. And in August of 2010, right before my freshman season at South Carolina would begin, I heard these words and I quote, I want y'all to watch this freshman right here. Somebody that's going to be great for us on Saturdays in the backfield. Watch his effort in this drill. He starts with his hip square. He dips his shoulder and runs the rim with perfect technique. That's a hell of a job, Marcus. Keep it up. End quote. Those words are etched in my brain for infinity like a tattoo. What Coach Shane Beamer didn't know is that up until that moment, I was drowning in self-doubt. Fantasies of going back home. External expectations eating away every ounce of sleep. I couldn't even eat. I just wanted to run away until that day. I finally got some sleep that night. A coach is more than a drill maker. A coach is more than a play caller. A coach understands the magic of language and how the right words at the right time can transform an insecure, hardworking, average athlete into a Southeastern legend. Appreciate you, Coach.
I mean, that's some powerful words from him. That's some powerful words to Shane Beamer.
Not as powerful as brick by brick.
Yeah. I can't get with the maggot infested bean pie, but
that one was a little
respectfully, Marcus Lattimore is selling himself short. The motherfucker was recruited to go to South Carolina, Auburn, LSU, Alabama. He was a fucking great player. So this whole thing that he was just an average athlete is horse shit. Stop it. He was great. I don't know why Marcus Lattimore has to sell himself
like
short.
that though.
That's how he felt. He said that's how he felt.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he did say that's how he felt. And to be fair, I'm pretty sure at that time he was still playing.
That he was shoveling shit.
Well, no, he wasn't.
Player.
But to be fair to him as well, and Kale confirmed this, I think he was still playing behind Brian Maddox was the starter, correct? Didn't he have Brian Maddox in front of him when he came in? I have a vivid memory.
Right. Yeah.
Brian Maddox jumping over an Auburn guy and karate kicking him in the top of the head. Do you remember that play, Kale?
No.
When we played Auburn with Brian Maddox, it must have been 2007, 2006, whatever year we played Auburn in that span. He jumped over an Auburn player standing straight up and karate kicked him in the top of his fucking head while the dude was standing straight up.
Too bad it didn't lead to a win.
No, it didn't. It didn't. No. But hey, it led to Lattimore. But yeah, I'm glad we could show that. You know, I'm glad.
Yeah, I remember him, Brian Maddox from T.L. Hanna High School. And
Another example of somebody that was good until they get the chance was a kid that left Alabama, went to a junior college, and then he came to Tennessee, sat the bench, never got a chance. Then his senior year, the leading tailback for Tennessee quit because he wanted to play tight end, and then they put this kid in. And then the next year, he went to the St. Louis. He went to the New Orleans Saints, was the rookie MVP of the year. So sometimes it's just waiting on your chance.
By the way, I think 2010 was Marcus Lattimore's freshman year. He ran for 250 carries, 1,197 yards, 17 touchdowns. But yeah, he was just an average player. Fuck out of here with that nonsense.
He said he felt like that, Rob.
Yeah, well, if he felt like that, then fuck. Really?
If you've got 15 or 20 D1 schools looking at you, you're not
Rob, to be fair,
Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Billy.
NFL millionaires still have to go hire sports psychologists to attack their confidence. So
I think he's
regardless of how great he is, I'm not going to sit here and
I think that Marcus Lattimore has a better and was one of the best players ever to play at South Carolina.
Yep.
And this whole thing of he was an average player, he's just trying to sell poems, man. Trying to sell poems and throw some love to his position coach.
Damn, Rob, you rained on my parade. I thought that was great.
It was great, but he's doing it to selling poems, man.
Care about the South Carolina Clemson game, and you think he's going to talk nicely about the Shane Beamer? Billy, come on.
No, I don't. I think Shane Beamer's a bum, man.
You've been here long enough, Billy. Yeah. We know the deal.
He's a bum.
Yeah, he's a bum. Never done anything great, but he damn sure hires better coordinators than fucking Dabo. Hey, while you were gone, we established you have the highest paid offensive coordinator who's a fucking scrub. Never done anything good.
I've already made my statement on that. We'll see you in November.
The only thing,
but real talk, Kale, you might know, has Garrett Riley versus a ranked team ever scored more than 21 points? Honest question, I don't know.
Let me ask the two South.
I don't know. I don't know about his days at TCU. So,
but has he done that at Clemson?
I don't know. Well, at TCU, he was the D court. Was he the offensive coordinator there when they beat Michigan in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Two South Carolina fans.
I was asking about Clemson. I'll give him TCU though. Go ahead, Bill.
Do either one of y'all have any questions about Mike Shula's ability to use Lenor Sellers based on the Illinois game? I don't. That game scares me.
Okay, as much as I hate to say it, I actually am really worried. I almost have to.
I mean, not worried, but concerned. How's that?
Well, the way he made him stay in the pocket, I'm going to be honest, I already am real critical of Shula. I mean, Rob's going to love hearing this. But
he took away his number one skill out of the pocket.
That was right. He made him stay in the pocket.
But he might have been playing safe, too, so bowl games don't matter. So
right, that's a good point. Maybe he was. Hopefully that's what he was doing, but his strength is being able to run.
Lets him open up and show his talents, because the difference between the Clemson game and the Illinois game was night and day. So I'm hoping that he was just citing that this is an insignificant bowl game and it don't matter. So
our buddy over there at 24/7 Sports, old JC Sherbert, in his talks about that game, this thing he does that I listen to, said that Illinois presented a different kind of defensive challenge, in that they weren't all out blitzing him like all these other teams were, where he found success in making these guys miss. They were kind of, not bringing the pressure and allowing him to stay back there in the pocket.
Okay.
But
Hey, here's
Hey,
my
Rob, I want Rob and Kill to do some. I want y'all to take whatever.
I don't know. I guess JC doesn't know what he's talking about, though. Of course.
Right. Well, JC Sherman
there.
needs to stop listening to the Gamecock Radio
Well,
Network
I never
and just
got that.
regurgitating the same shit that they say on there.
Let me
That's
answer.
the exact same shit they said.
Oh,
this is line our defense. He just regurgitated that and put it back in paper.
Isn't Illinois kind of?
All he did was say they didn't run the same kind of defense that the kid had played all year long.
Right, which he got that from fucking the Gamecock Radio Network. They can't put together their own fucking thoughts.
Everybody, basically every damn thing that you hear anywhere it comes from somewhere else. Nobody has an original thought anymore.
Let's do something. Let's take whatever preseason poll y'all want to use that, and at the end of the season, let's go back and look at it and see where.
We do that. With
preseason polls aren't worth the paper they're written on. Yep. They're not worth the paper they're written on.
I agree. I think, that's probably the best take you've ever had. Yeah, you usually switch up so fucking fast. But Billy, I wanted to answer your. No, I said that was a good take.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Billy, I wanted to answer your question though. Cam Newton, 10 rushing touchdowns, 600 yards, NFL MVP, gone to the Super Bowl.
Why didn't you bring up David Gerard? He coached him too. Why didn't you bring him up?
David Gerard's not Lenor Sellers.
Okay. David Gerard played in a couple of Pro Bowls, but I guess Sellers is better than Gerard.
Can Peckerhead make a point?
I would just like to answer his question. Very similar skill set. Mike Shula coached Cam Newton to an NFL MVP and a Super Bowl. And we're worried about how he's going to coach Sellers because of a bowl game. I'm not concerned at all. Well, the dude is proven. He's had an established offense in the NFL with the same skill set. I'm not saying Lenor Sellers for all the haters that want to twist my words. Rob doesn't do this that often. Can we be mature? Let's act our age here.
Let's act our age. I can answer that, and I'm not trolling. Lenor Sellers is not Cam Newton.
What the hell was that? Somebody brought something in the toaster?
Lenor Sellers doesn't have. He doesn't have the players around him that Cam Newton has. Okay.
No, I disagree. Cam Newton did not have good players, especially in college. In the NFL, I'll grant you, that was a really good NFL team with a really good defense. But I don't think they had the threats at wide. I mean, who was his best wide receiver that year? Ted Ginn?
I don't know.
That
would have been enough for me.
Yeah, in the NFL standards, that's not that great. Yeah, I think as far as wide receiver play goes, obviously they're not NFL receivers. But
who was his running back? D'Angelo?
No, that would have been Jonathan Stewart.
Oh yeah.
So not even that great of a running back either. I mean, Jonathan.
Where'd he play at?
He was like 600.
Oregon?
Did he?
Jonathan Stewart.
He got fat in the NFL though. He was built like a fullback.
Didn't he play at Tennessee?
Did he?
I think so.
No shit.
Google it. Rob knocked that off.
Rob, what are you doing over there?
I'm watching this woman yell about.
He was at Oregon. He was at University.
Yeah, he was at Oregon.
Yeah. There was a Stewart that Jonathan. I don't know.
Yell about what?
Travis Henry.
No, there was a Stewart too played.
Hey, 10 rushing touchdowns. Nobody was sitting there saying Super Cam is a pocket passer. They're keeping Super Cam in the pocket. Nobody was saying that. And we think he's just all of a sudden we think he's going to take Lenor Sellers' best attribute and say don't do that at all.
He did it at Illinois game.
It was a bowl game.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Game.
But you got to take two, unless Shula has changed. He didn't do worth a flip at Alabama. He got run off.
Well, he's got less responsibilities now.
Well, not everybody's a good head coach. Some people are a better coordinator.
Exactly. Will Muschamp. I mean, come on.
They were talking. Well, old JC was talking about him too, and the deal with like Josh Heupel not being able to beat Georgia, and how when Muschamp was at Carolina and Heupel was the OC at Mizzou, Carolina was beating them. And then Josh Heupel hasn't had no success against Georgia, who's down there now, Muschamp. Just something he's doing that he's dialing up that's neutralizing that Heupel offense.
There's another thing said to be with what talent's at your fingers. That's just like Muschamp at Georgia. Look at Mike Bobo now. When you've got Georgia players and Georgia 5-stars and stuff, it's a different ballgame.
What? Yeah. Well,
but everybody complains about Mike Bobo still.
Yeah, and their offense was sputtering. I mean,
how many rings does Mike Bobo have at Georgia? Does he have any national championship rings?
I don't think so.
No.
He did it. His second year, right?
His third year.
Third year.
I don't know.
No, he's about to go into his third year.
Octavian could have. Billy, who's Tennessee's quarterback? Oh my God, there's 4 or 5 in the quarterback room. Pick one. Pick one. It could be Merklinger. It could be Gaston Green.
If we Landon Duckworth, South Carolina has arguably the best quarterback room in the country.
Well, look
who's. I want to debate that next show. So do your research.
Who's the number 1 player in the nation in 2026, and where's he going to?
I don't know. I thought was it Bryce Underwood or
is it Faison Brandon?
Yes, sir. Go look at 247. He's already committed to Tennessee.
Oh boy,
quarterback.
By the way, just for the record, in Cam Newton's season that where he won the MVP that everybody's so in love with, he had 4 Pro Bowlers on the offensive side of the ball, but none of that matters.
Man, ESPN's not letting us go. They've shown it all day. Shedeur Sanders ticketed for doing.
Okay, well, the AP also had the same 4 players, so this is the Associated Press. That's not the fans.
Well, you just said Pro Bowl. I was just addressing that.
As we have these conversations over the months, I'll never forget Spurrier several years ago when he was in South Carolina. These reporters were asking these questions and the hypotheticals like we're doing right now. And, someone said, South Carolina, the record that he goes, and the best thing I've heard Steve Spurrier ever say was, quote, I guess that's why we'll play the games. So play the games, win, lose, or draw.
That's what I said. We'll see you in November. And people still want to bring up Cam Newton and every fucking thing else.
And if your starting quarterback is out, we don't want to hear it. No excuses. You should have depth.
You can't have a college football talk show and then tell people not to talk about college football and wait till November.
Well, we're talking
what
about.
What are we doing, Rob? Like, honestly, that's the hill you want to die on. You're gonna have a college.
I'm just saying. I've heard enough from Gamecock fans who are like, "Oh, fuck you. We're gonna be going to the playoffs, and Clemson's gonna be fucking 4-8." Okay, we'll see you in November. If you're that fucking stupid,
who said that? Octavian version.
If you are stupid enough to come onto the program and tell me, "Oh, South Carolina's gonna be a playoff team, but Clemson's not." That's just next level stupidity.
That's dumb. I mean, look at that schedule they play.
Rob, I haven't heard a soul say that.
I haven't heard a soul say that.
I haven't heard a single person say that.
You young guys.
Wait a minute. Where's Wessinger was in here talking about why is it that South Carolina's not? You think South Carolina's not going to be a playoff team, but Clemson is. You didn't
say Clemson was missing the playoffs. He didn't say Clemson was missing the playoffs.
I think your silliness and delusion got him off his rocker a little bit.
I think he was testing your logic.
You got him off his game.
Well, it's pretty simple with Gamecock fans. But I'll see you in November.
Do you all remember when the Spurrier got interviewed at like the second day of fall camp before that last year he coached? We're asking him about the players, and he was like, well, we're just going to cancel practice. We're going to cancel practice. These running backs, geez, these guys are terrible. These receivers, God, they can't catch a cold. These kickers, it's like the Army, left, right. Ironically, he was telling the truth.
He was.
He was not wrong.
He was not wrong.
Hey, but that first game of the season, I went to that game. It was in our ex-home away from home. I say it, our ex-home away from home, because it's not really anymore. I haven't had a lot of success there. Bank of America Stadium, where they beat UNC 17-13. That ended up being their best regular season win. It was the only regular season loss for North Carolina.
Although, we won our last game in the bank, didn't we? Won at the Mayo Bowl?
No, it was a loss.
No, we got
in the beginning
we got
of
beat
2023.
2023.
We lost to those shitheads 2 times in season openers up there.
I think that was the game they had, 10 sacks, 11 sacks?
9.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I still see those guys talking trash to us, despite the fact that we had a much better record and they got 70 dropped on their ass by James Madison.
They know that was a damn farce.
I mean, I know they keep saying they're the real Carolina, but I'm just like, how could y'all say that? We won 9 games to finish ranked. Y'all went 6-7, got 70 dropped on your ass by James Madison, and lost by 2 possessions to UConn.
Fired your fucking senior citizen coach. I mean,
shit.
Yeah, firing Mac Brown. I mean, what that hasn't been said. Disrespectful way for a legend to go out. You know, nobody's really talked about the sad failure of the end of Mac Brown's career. I mean, that guy was a great coach at one point.
It was.
And he just went out with a whimper.
Did you know he was going to quit? He was going to quit. He was going to quit at halftime of that James Madison game.
Yeah, I heard that.
And they had to talk him into not quitting.
And then fired him.
Then fired him at the end of the season.
Paying him? What was his buyout? Anybody know?
I don't remember.
I hope they're still paying him. That'd be the the cherry on top.
Hypothetical question. Back to baseball. How much would it take South Carolina to pay the Coastal Carolina coach, and would he come to South Carolina? Why would he?
Oh, that's a shit job now.
Why would he?
Well,
yeah, he probably wouldn't come.
It's a tainted job, but not a shit job. Certainly not a shit job.
It's a tainted job, definitely an appealing rebuilding project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the pieces are there to be successful.
This guy's
By the way, they paid Mac Brown $2,800,000.
Shouldn't have been there to begin with.
Hey, he had 2 10-win seasons. He was all right.
He beat the Gamecocks twice.
Yeah.
And he still has
2-1 against the Gamecocks.
And he still has a losing record to us all time. He's still 3-4 against us all time.
Were those his players or his recruits? I mean, or former players?
Well, I don't think he recruited Drake May.
There you go.
Yeah, and that was the main.
I was in attendance as a Ute in 1988, Game 1, September 1st, 2nd, 1988. Williams Rice Stadium in Mac Brown's first game ever at North Carolina. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, Jackpot was also there for a loss to the Citadel.
Beat him 31-10.
Come on, Rob.
He was there. Ask him.
Let's not end on negativity, Rob. Give your greatest memory as a Ute going to a
That's the thing. Their best head coach of all time has a losing record to it. Our best head coach of all time is undefeated against them.
Yeah.
Well,
I sent this.
We don't want to talk about all-time records. We heard that.
I was also there in '87 when we almost brought that stadium down when we beat the Taters, and in '84 when we beat Florida State. They were ranked like number 2 or something.
I'm fixed to leave. Let me leave with words of wisdom to the South Carolina players.
Yeah.
No trolling aside. Jackpot's almost there. He's got it. He's learning. But as you get older, and I will be 70 next year, you will learn not to put all your hopes and dreams in a preseason team.
I've learned, Billy. Trust me, I've learned.
Because what happens was about halfway through, you get so disappointed. Don't get disappointed in your team. You're talking to somebody that watched the team win the national championship in '98, and the next 25 years was terrible. So every year's a new year. It's good to be optimistic, but you need to be common sense, and you need to listen to Jackpot. He's not delusional. He's,
the worst thing a Carolina fan can have is hope. I agree.
Well, no. You can have hope. You just can't be.
I wanted to say this because we were talking.
I got high hopes, but you can't get to the point where it upsets your psyche. You can't upset. It's not. Don't let that be your
let it
world.
ruin my week, Billy. I let it ruin my week every time.
Don't let it do that.
I have to.
Learn. No,
dude, I have to.
The sun doesn't,
because the highs are so high, Billy. The highs are so high. The lows have no choice but to be low. You know, it's like a hit of meth.
Well, you got to you can't do that.
You can't.
Hopefully
It's
you're
not
not
healthy.
speaking
It's
from
not healthy for
experience
the
with
heart.
that.
Just like that meth, it's not healthy for the heart. But damn, it's a good ride.
We know what you hope for, but let's just be realistic. Realistically, today, June 18th. Right now, if you had to bet $1,000, what do you think South Carolina's record would be?
9 wins.
See?
9 wins. I think LSU's a farce. We're beating LSU at the Swamp. Or not at the Swamp, but at Death Valley, rather. That's going to be the turning point game. We're beating Vandy. We're beating Mizzou. And I'll chalk up a loss to either Clemson or I think a team like Oklahoma or Ole Miss comes up and bites us in the ass. I think we're beating Bama at home. They got Ty Simpson at quarterback. He doesn't scare me. You know, Bo Perbula at Missouri doesn't scare me.
I've got confidently, I would say Tennessee's 8-4. Confidently.
I disagree.
But I
think you're at 9. I think all jokes aside, I think you're at 9.
And I think Heupel is a good enough coach that he will have his quarterback room set, and we'll find out. But I think he's a pretty good judge of talent. He's done pretty good so far. So
yeah,
he's done pretty good so far.
And I'll exit with this because I know we're getting late. On the Carolina, who's the real Carolina debate, I did have a graphic that I wanted to chime in. Since 1980, 8-4 versus the Tar Heels, 9-7 versus the Wolfpack, and 14-5 versus the ECU Pirates. And that's not even accounting for undefeated records versus other North Carolina teams. That's just the big
Duke and Wake Forest.
Duke, Wake Forest, Western Carolina.
Well, we did have a loss in 1982 at home to Duke. So
and here we go. That's awesome. But now do the SEC since '92.
Well, that's not what was being discussed.
Well, I'm saying if you're going to do that, do the SEC. You know, that's to pick.
By the way, I heard.
Yeah.
Apparently, that $8 million offer was allegedly from Duke. Can y'all believe that?
That's possible.
Well, I believe they went out and paid Mensa Schultz. They paid Mensa a pretty penny. That was one of the best transfer quarterbacks in the portal.
Yeah.
They paid Mensa a lot. For them to come in and try and slide.
Could you have imagined losing that kid to Duke?
That would have sucked.
It would have hurt so bad.
I would have been ready to turn in my fan card.
Oh my God.
See,
right? It would have hurt so fucking bad.
This is what I'm talking about. It's very possible. It could happen. You can't let stuff like that get you down.
It's just crazy. A team like Duke is coming in with $8 million for one of the best quarterbacks.
Well, Rob, you don't think the Clemson fan base would have melted down if Cade Klubnik had gotten bought by Duke?
No.
I think it would.
Oh, Rob, come on now.
I don't think that. I mean, if you're asking, there are Clemson fans that would lose their shit, but I don't know. We'd find some.
Trust me, when Lenor Sellers leaves South Carolina, there will be another Lenor Sellers behind him to come in.
Aaron Olin.
He's good, and he's showing it right now.
Aaron Olin. He's already there, Billy.
But that's what I'm saying. There's other people that come in.
All right, you've said enough stupid this evening.
Go Gamecocks, baby. Hey, Rob, take care.
Put some air under that thing.
Kale, better than we deserve, my friend. Go
Better
Gamecocks.
than I deserve. I will always remember this as the show where I held up a video about talking about rotten magpies.
I've got to head out too.
Bye-bye. See you later there, Bill.
I'll see y'all later. Good
All right,
show.
bye-bye, Billy.
Good
All
show.
right, gang.
Bye-bye.
Jackpot, we also could talk on our next show about I don't know. Could this be Sellers' last year at South Carolina? Because that could be.
I think that's very
maybe we'll get into that on Sunday.
stuff.
I don't know. Jackpot, I hope you have a good night, sir.
All right, sir. Get some rest. We'll see you later.
All right, we will talk to you guys later on.
Thanks, gang-a-lang.
I think. Hold on. Bye. What the hell?